Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich,
Hello, 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 and I'm Rangru.
and we are coming with you with some more 1v1 Normandy, excuse me, Skill Division Normandy 44. Man, it's been a long week at work, Rangu. How about you?
Yeah, it's been pretty long, but well, right now we're recording this on a Friday, so we thought the best thing to do is come home and cast Steel Division, because that's
Because
what we
frankly,
do.
I love doing it for you guys, I will say.
Yeah,
All
same.
right, we have ourselves a 1v1 on St. Mary Glees. How about you
hmm
tell us about the combatants today there, Rang?
Well, today, Con, on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, we have the Astonished man, and astonishingly enough, he's playing as the 3rd Armored Division. I know, right? And even more astonishingly, we got Adaco as the 21st Panzer Division.
All right, so it's gonna be Rommel's Circus facing off against the American Dogs. What's that kind of like? What's the matchup gonna be like? Tell me about that.
We got two very well-versed tank divisions going to be fighting against each other. I'm a big fan of Third Armored. I'm very biased towards them. It's one of my favorite decks in game.
I
This
mean,
is
well, I'm biased to the opposite side, so you know what? I hate to be against you on this one, but I don't know.
we can take our bets and see who wins in the match.
But you were talking to
Yep.
me before we started this cast today about something that's really, really great about the third armor. Do you want to go expand a little bit more on that?
50 cows. They got a crap ton of 50 cows. That mortar half track has got 50 cows. Sherman down there has got 50 cow. Some of those half tracks have 50 cows if you have leaders on it. Lots of
Sure.
machine guns, good tanks. Even though the third armored economy in A phase is pretty pants, it's the lowest of any division. They got really good unit show in the A phase to take advantage of. I mean, that Sherman outclasses the German tanks that Mr. Adaco can bring up, and if he can use that to his advantage, especially down south, as you can see, it's quite a bit of open ground, he can do a pretty damn good job.
Well, I'm happy you brought up St. Marigles as the map
hmm
itself. So obviously we have the town in the middle. I mean, the
Yep.
eponymous town, that's where it is. There's going to be lots of fighting there. But should we expect to see a lot of engagement over here on the sides, or do you think that this town's going to turn into kind of a meat grinder?
Well, last time we talked about the map in the French versus 352nd, we got it
Hmm.
completely wrong. So I'm going to say the town, even though they're both tank divisions, that's going to be the high point where the flanks are going to be a bit more quieter. But who knows?
Actually, we'll say I'm a little bit surprised to see as many recon units as I do over on the German side of things. In fact, we have
Well, it was a
like
222s.
yeah, they're 222s, but at the same time, I kind of feel. I mean, the 222 first of all is rather undergunned, but still, I guess, decently enough for a recon unit.
It's not. Well, it has the recon infantry inside, but I'm thinking he's going to try and do a bit of a. Just a bit of a rush overall and try to hit hard through the lines and try to do a breakthrough of the 222s, because apart from the Sherman, it's all rather light armor.
I didn't even
Just
see that
half
Sherman until
tracks.
just this second, but let's take a quick look at the breakouts. The Americans are being a little bit more aggressive than we've seen in a couple of allied players
hmm
recently. The Germans are actually rather conservative about theirs. How do you like it?
Yeah, the Germans not even going for the mid road in the middle, and down south too, very conservative as well. A lot of infantry all around, a lot of Panzer Grenadiers. AT gun, no real tanks. And he's not even really rushing the 222s. That's very conservative, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not
kind
sure I
of
really like
scared.
that one very much.
I'm not liking this at all. He's just giving the American play the town at the moment.
Well, at least on the one side, he's going to go and get that Sherman under fire pretty darn
hmm
quickly here. So hopefully the flames of war will be sparking on off. Well, it's the Americans who start firing first, but at the same time, this Pack 38 does have a nice
Yeah.
sight line on that guy now,
It will
doesn't he?
have trouble penetrating now because it only has 1 AP extra compared to the 9.
That is true, and that's something I really need to learn the calculations behind that. I understand it from a vague sense, but the more precise ones go right
It's
over my head.
it's just for you guys at home who also don't know it, at max range the Pack 38 does 10 AP. That's a number. At 900 meters, it gains 1 AP, and then 800 another AP, and so on and so forth. So at 800 meters, it would be doing 12 AP damage, for example.
And of course, that
Yeah.
does definitely scale in terms of whether or not there's an
Mhm.
accuracy component to
Yeah,
it
the
as
accuracy
well.
also gets, of course, it gets better the closer you get.
But okay, in the meantime, Panzer Grenadier starts moving towards that middle of the town,
hmm
and they're going to get pushed back immediately. And then the Astonished Man is shocking us. He's up 51-49 and start getting those tickets now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing very good for the early phase. That mortar's definitely going to help out pinning down everything, as you can see. And he has half tracks. He has infantry in the town. He's doing pretty well for himself. Though once again, Adacos has been very defensive.
Now I was gonna say, I think noticing that Adaco wasn't bringing a lot in. Geez, Panzer Grenadiers do take down. Do Panzer Grenadiers take that down? Alclera,
I think
maybe?
that's a
Who took
222.
that down? Oh,
222.
222. Okay, that makes more sense. Half track does go on down. There goes another one.
Another
That was
222 down.
definitely a armored car there. What was gonna say? I was almost expecting to see a German tank coming on in, but instead we get a 250 with a mortar on top of it from the German side of things.
I guess that's to try and counter battery the M21.
But is the M21 even? Oh, the M21 has actually started laying down rounds, hasn't he?
Yep.
Okay, I guess I was watching a little bit too far down to the south. Now, I'm a little surprised, and maybe you can comment on this as well, but we're seeing a lot of don't fires from the German side of things. Why would that be?
Yeah, that's very interesting for the recon, of course. It makes a lot of sense. For the Panzergrenadiers in middle, maybe he wants to hold fire to maybe hopefully ambush the vehicle as it comes down the road, or he just doesn't want to expose his machine guns, shoot up and then get hit up by the mortar half track.
Now, help me out. We have an M20 coming on, and wasn't that a Staghound? Or that's the British version,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's a greyhound without the turret.
Greyhound, thank you. Sorry, wrong kind of dog.
Ruff, ruff. It's a baby greyhound. It's a nice little, it's a lovely compliment for the Sherman, as first off it buffs its veterancy, of course, but also it's another 50 cal. And can you really have enough 50 cals, Khan?
Well, if you're apparently the third armored, the answer to that is no.
Exactly.
It does seem that those Panzer Grenadiers have kicked off up here in the northern side of the map. They have taken out a recon unit, and they're going to come under fire from this mortar half track. And is this to reveal this against? I don't know. Actually, for that matter, where is the 250 is? No, he's laying down fire at that the armored rifles up into the northern side. So the German attack will stall. Aufklärers and Panzer Grenadiers being forced back, well, pinned down, not falling back just yet.
Yeah, that mortar, he doesn't need to move his Panzer Grenadiers out of there, because they're already pinned down, they can't exactly do much. He's just taking unnecessary casualties.
I can't help but wonder, though, he's keeping it there so that way he might be able to take out that half track.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. And no, he's not even, his half track isn't really in range to shoot at it.
Ooh, another half track does go down, though. So the 222s have been a nice answer to the thin skins of the Americans. But one thing that still continues to be kind of concerning is this kind of 1-2 combination down to the south, that M20 Sherman you mentioned before.
Yeah, it's at open ground you can easily take advantage of. Yeah, Pat Gun is in a pretty decent position, but if he keeps that Sherman all the way along the southern flank, not too much he can do. But if he was to do an attack on the southern flank of the Sherman, I'd think he'd run another recon unit, maybe another armoured rifle unit, just to screen in front, because you never know, there could be another pack gun within these forests for all that Astonished man is concerned.
But you know what's even more shocking is the fact that we actually have ourselves a Stuart as well as another M20 coming up into the north. So the nice thing is the command cars aren't playing any favorites, but at the same time it's going to be rather hot for the Germans, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's another tank, and yeah, Stuart and the M20, great anti-infantry support, 3 1919s and 150 cal with the veterancy bonus. That's going to be rather painful when it comes into mid. Because that 222 is the only thing that's really helping out Adaco in the mid.
I was going to say, how do you feel about the anti-tank gun placement for the Germans? I'm finding it myself a little bit conservative, but I'm willing to hear a different opinion.
Up north, it's okay. You can really move it up a little bit closer to get into a better position. Down south, it's also okay. But I also want to note, yeah, Adaco, he can get those, the makeshift bloody French tank for a Pack 40, and that'd be a fantastic unit to bring in down south, because it outranges
35S?
I don't know the name. It's just this weird looking thing that has a big Pack 40 on the back. But
wait, I think I will see what you're talking about, the 307.
Yeah, the 307. Yeah,
because I'm gonna right now actually.
That thing can oh yeah, it is. There we go. Good.
Quite the canoper coming on in. There goes another half track, and M5A1 is kind of shifting around. Panzer Grenadiers get forced back in the south, and scouts do move on forwards. But I'm wondering, where is the 307 planning on going? Well, he's going down to the south. He's trying to hedge out, I think.
That can stop the Sherman. It outranges the Sherman if he manages to get into a favourable engagement distance. And yeah, of course, it can easily kill him. Killing that Sherman will be the main thing stopping this southern assault.
I have to say, I am surprised. We had this happen in one of the more recent casts that we had as well. That this game is not quite as aggressive as you usually expect. For me, and maybe again, feel free to weigh in on this.
Passive. I mean, up north, he's managed to pretty much capture the northern flank, which is pretty good. But in the town, at the start, he didn't even make a run for it, and he should have, because Panzergrens are pretty decent He has all his half-track to 222s, and if he could have pushed through the town and get to the other side, he can really take advantage of the armor that he can get. But yeah, you're right. He's been pretty passive when he should have been more on the fence. And right now, the Americans have such a good defensive position on the town with the mortar and everything else.
I will say, it does look like the M21 was being suckered on out, being given a target to shoot at, and now the Germans are trying to lay down fire at it. Not taking it out, and it looks like they're going to trade out some grenadiers against rifles in the middle, and armor rifles at that. So
Yep.
these guys, bazooks, are way better, I would argue. Oof.
At closer range, if they can get within the 100-meter range, then yes. But anything apart from that, 2 machine guns is still rather scary. The main thing that's helping the armored rifles a lot is the fire support backing them up.
Definitely fair. So we're coming up on 90 seconds over here until the next phase. Pack 38 actually is going to get a couple of rounds off on this Stuart, and I get the feeling he really should be able to penetrate. No, he's going to force him back instead.
Almost getting a kill. 222's rushing in, maybe trying to finish it off.
We're not going to see a surrender, but that'd be kind of hysterical for me. Oh no, he's not going to be able to finish him off. Check that out. There's absolutely no 20 ammo left in his tank.
That's not good. That's definitely not good. Well, that is the one problem with 222's. Not a lot of ammunition. You need to keep a resupply truck nearby.
I was going to say, the first time you play with him, you think to yourself, wow, a 20mm cannon. Then you realize it doesn't last anything longer than a few seconds at a time.
Yeah, autocannon nerf definitely hurt the German players a little bit. Well, of course, the German players are the ones who use autocannons.
Through, the M21 is crying out, smoke him if you got him, dropping down a blanket in front of that Pack 38. As some other men start moving in down the center line, down to the south, we did see an AA platform coming on in the form of that M16.
Yep.
What is that down there? 4.12.7s. The Pack has managed to take out that M20, so he's given his life
and the Sherman
for the good old US of A.
Oh no, Sherman's still alive, my bad.
Yeah, I was going to say that Sherman is still on the field, though, so he has seen the death of his comrade. It doesn't look like he's going to be too aggressive about that.
No. And we're all going to be very close into B phase, which will be interesting, I have to admit. Adaco is still in the point lead, and even though he has a 20-point advantage, he could have taken a bit more of an aggressive play route. But it's not the end of the road, not winning in A phase as the 21st Panzer. He's going to be reinforced with some rather nice units in B phase if he can, of course, take advantage of it.
Well, and that's what's going to happen right now. So, okay, so the third armor goes up to an insane 150. Phase C. And actually, before I get too much further, we're going to see a Broombar coming on out, that grumbling bear.
There we go. That's what I was hoping to see.
And we'll get into that in just a second, but what did we expect out of the 21st Panzer? And well, actually, what do we expect out of both sides in Phase B?
Well, medium tanks, because they both get Panzer IVs. Both actually get Sherman tanks, surprisingly, which is pretty funny. More of the same infantry, nothing really too crazy in that regard. Maybe some few planes, artillery. It's really just the tanks that both really get quite good into the B phase. If Astonished Man could get potentially a jumbo right now, yeah, that'd be pretty nice, because I don't think Adaco could effectively pen it till C phase with a King Tiger, and we all know King Tiger's rather expensive. I believe he can get some Pack 43s, but don't quote me on that.
I was going to say at the same time, though, the 307, if it gets a brilliant shot off, that could be a pretty good, decent fight, couldn't it? Or no?
Yeah, he could, I mean, he's just slowly moving around trying to get a sight on the M4 Sherman, but that Sherman's just barely snuggled into that tree line.
We are going to see the other 307 being deployed to the northern side of this map. And actually, shockingly enough, these scouts, for somehow, have forced back this Panzer Grenadier squad. I will say, of course, that might have something to do with that Sherman being firing on him, but I'm still a little bit depressed by that.
Yeah, it's quite funny. Yeah, Panzer Grents have bloody machine guns, but that's what happens when you have some decent fire support and...
Ooh, and the grumbling bear growls and takes out a 57mm.
Wait, does Brumbar mean bear in German?
Bar is.
So what does Brum mean?
I think it actually means grumbling bear. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I used to think it was like Brunbear. Brown bear, but
that's like a pretty Viking Nordic name. Grumbling bear. That's
pretty
like
fantastic.
a wrestler name.
222 goes down, by the way. That was a courtesy of that Stuart. And now we're going to have a little bit of a furball. 51 Mustang is out going after one of these ME-109s, but he's got another one on his tail. Actually, two more coming on. Focke-Wulf and the ME-109.
Yeah. It was 109, so those are the earlier models. They only have 2 machine guns and a single autocannon, which isn't the greatest when it comes to offensive armament. But it doesn't matter, they killed a Mustang.
I was going to say they did exactly what they needed to do now, didn't they, though?
Mm-hmm.
All right, though. So we got, what, 15 minutes into this game so far, 486 to
Yep.
8, and we're actually bang on even in terms of territory. That's shocking to me.
Yeah, and it's nothing really too crazy in terms of point advantage. Only a 480 odd point advantage for Astonished Man, which that's definitely comebackable. You can come back from that. There's still quite a lot of time to go. And it seems like Adaco is starting to take the offensive.
Oh, driver's knocked out in the broom
Oh,
bar, but at the same time, the Pack 38 might get a good shot off. Oh, no, it's just going to stress
yeah.
him out a tiny bit.
I don't think the Sherman can. It can barely pen the Brumbar at that range.
Well, I think he's out of range to do it right now. How far
Yeah.
is he? He is just about 600 meters away, so he
Yep.
technically could do it.
Yeah, exactly. But the Brumbar will probably, as you can see, stun up the Sherman before it can get the kill. And that is the wonderful thing about the Brumbar. It's an American deck. Highest AP is 14. So 14 armor, that's going to be rather nice for just survivability, right? You don't have to worry about 17 pounders.
Worth noting in the meantime, though, that up in the northern side, if you want to take a look at that pyre just between the two armored rifle and the armored leader, that little bit of a burning bush that's going on right there, that did house a very, very brave Stewart, and I think I got taken out by that 307 pack.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, despite the fact that I had paper for armor, definitely doing a little bit of work now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And we're also going to see a artillery piece coming on in for the Germans, the Panzer 39H, and this is another one of those French converted chassis.
Yeah, so it's a weird looking thing.
Yeah,
Right.
we were talking actually last game about the Lorraine being a hideous vehicle, the last cast that we did together.
Yeah.
But jeez, this almost competes with it.
I don't know, it kind of looks like that fish with like the really ugly face, kind of.
Which one would that be?
I have no idea. Maybe like a sandfish, a turtle. It's just fat and bulky, and it has like its big bloody gun on such a small chassis. It's not pretty, but when you're an artillery unit, you can just kind of stay in the back lines.
And look ugly together.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we are going to have another boom bar coming on in, and that 39 is trying to. Where's he going to put fire down? It's 105 millimeters, so I can't help but wonder where he's going to shoot. My hope would be to start completely lacing the approach into the town. If
Yeah.
nothing else, maybe even just dropping down some smoke would be fantastic.
I don't
But
think he has
no-
enough forces to really take the town right now. Just it's
No,
very
he's looking
well
for
defended.
the M16 and the M21.
Mhm. And maybe I think at this point it may not even be worthwhile to try to do a big assault on a town, but instead just try to do attacks along the flank and then just encircle it from the air.
Well, for the moment, oh no, here comes the Jumbo. But we are going to see he is now taking
There we go.
51% to 49.
Oh, Jumbo, my pretty.
Oh my gosh. I was skeptical of the Jumbo.
Wait, is that
Then
a
I watched
Jumbo?
No, it's just an upgun.
We're a bit on the gun, yeah, but it's still a Sherman. It's still a nice Sherman.
Yeah, I see a big gun, and I think it must be
yeah.
a Jumbo.
All Shermans matter.
Well, it's an American thing, too.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Jumbo size, Big E size, you confuse about all
Exactly,
these things.
yeah. Anyway, it's still
We are going
Sherman.
to see. We did lose a 304 down in the south. Not maybe too much to worry about. Another 304 is going to die pretty darn quickly as well. And it looks like this 307 pack is trying to reassess and get into a firing position on this Sherman. But it's not going to happen.
And the Stuart's just gonna poke out a ray before the pack gun can shoot it. And I don't know, it's looking pretty good for Adaco still down south. I'm
I was
liking
going to
it.
see, yeah. The
I'm liking
scouts
this-
just got taken out, and P-Grants are going to get pinned.
Oof, yeah, that's a Stuart at close range. Those machine guns don't mess around. But I'm liking this 1-2 punch. The Brumbar is the big bear in the front taking all the hit, while the pack gun's behind providing that anti-tank support.
It's
It's
what is
kind
that, 307? Is he in range
Yeah.
right now? No, he's not. Okay.
No.
He's going to shoot for that half track.
Yeah.
What a waste. Unfortunate.
It's pretty funny because for an American armored deck, you usually see the Jumbo is in the front and the 76mm Sherman's in the back, but here the 21st Panzer's using the own tactics against him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's definitely true. We are going to see in the north, by the way, this broom bar is shifting on forwards,
Yep.
and he's moving kind of with too much. Well, he's a little bit too blithe for my liking.
Yeah, if you look down south, the pack, the 307 did get knocked out by the Stuart.
I
And-
missed that.
Oh, Stuart almost got a good flanking shot on the Brumbar.
That is true, and that guy, he has 14 armor in the
no.
front. Oh!
Oh, he turned around, Scully, he turned around.
And I was going to say, that's just exactly the point I was going to make, is that the Germans do have beautiful amounts of armor on that thing from the front, but from the sides,
From the side, yeah, you
not
know,
so great.
Not
Um,
great.
You did mention Panzer IVs before, and we have the first one up here just behind the other boom bar, and he is surviving for the moment. With the armor that he's got, I don't know how long that's going to last. He's basically surviving by the inaccuracy of that 57 mil.
Exactly. Maybe the Focke-Wulf's gonna come and try to get the kill? Yeah,
I do not know. Down. Oh, here's the jumbo. Okay, so the M4A3E2.
There we go. Finally a jumbo. Yes.
And you know what? Again, you get a little excited sometimes. Yeah, you want to see a jumbo.
Shermans are all very similar looking. You got to admit, you know.
True. True, and actually worth noting, air flak. Try this again. Wow, the flak umbrella taking out an ME-109 on a ground run. But it does look like we might see the P4 coming on, and he's going to get some revenge on some people. No, he actually comes in, immediately bails out. Oh dear God. You know what? I'm a little depressed right now. I'm going to let you take the next few seconds.
Okay. Yeah, it's Panzer IV, as we can see, is just going to get rickety wrecked, and down south, it's really going to come down to... Yeah, Astonished man really has his southern side under his control. He's got a decent amount of tanks, he's got some infantry, some fire support. He could definitely get across open ground and make some progress. Yeah, it's the Panzer IV count. Don't look.
I'm looking at the north right now. I'm actually seeing the fact that that jumbo is just bouncing everything, or just... Well, he doesn't seem to care too much that there are a couple of German tanks up here.
Yeah, it's going to take a King Tiger to kill that jumbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're right about that. Yeah, it just makes me sad.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Looking back to the center, well, the Americans continue to hold this town, and the Germans continue to do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Which, again, depresses me a little bit as well.
I think I did a little bit of an assault earlier on, just a bit of a skirmish, but nothing too much. The problem is with the 21st Panzer, is your infantry selection is usually Panzer Grenadiers, then some Panzer Grenadiers, maybe some Pioneers, and then some Panzer Grenadiers. You don't really get anything too crazy. And in a town fight, the 21st Panzer isn't exactly the greatest. They can use their half-tracks pretty well, considering it's just fast movement on the road. But he just needs some more units, I think, to really take advantage of it, especially considering the amount of fire support vehicles in that town. There's all those M3 half-tracks and M16s and mortars.
Another P4 goes down. Worth noting in the meantime, another M4A3 coming up behind that jumbo, it looks like.
Yep.
And we're coming into actually phase C right now, so take us through the match at this point. What do we got?
Well, if you look at Astonished man, he is now rolling in the money. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more jumbos, more 76 Shermans. A lot of Shermans. Probably a lot of Shermans. For Adaco, the main thing is, of course, you have King Tiger. The problem is it's going to take him 3 minutes to save up for the King Tiger. He does have a Pack 43 coming in up top, but it's exactly what he needs to knock out the jumbo.
That's true, but doesn't even the Pack 43, doesn't the jumbo have to get closer to be even a sure kill?
22 AP at 1.2 kilometers versus 20 armor. That's pretty decent. Of course, rating a little bit longer would be better, but
he's aligning right now, and I kind of want to get this nice little bit of a perspective here. So I'm going down right behind him. Let's see. He's got these guys. He can see them both.
He should have unloaded that Pack 43 sooner, and preferably in a forest, but...
Ooh, and that first round comes in, take out 3 models. Come on, my friend, you can do it. Tanks are going to slightly... Oh, they're going to pin him down just before he gets a second round off, so I'm not feeling too great about this.
With that Pack 43. He should have kept that back in the forest instead of rushing it up on the road. That was not a good idea.
You know, I hate to say it right now, but it does look like you might be right that the 3rd Armor might take out my beloved 21st Panzer.
That seems like I'll be winning this bet. Oh, hey, you're gonna be happy, oh. Look at the right. We got a big cat coming in.
Mein Königstiger. Eine hübsche Katze.
Yep, he's gonna be rushing into the south to try and plug in that gap. We only got some Shermans and Stuarts here. We got a jumbo coming in down south. Here we go. But okay, killing King Tiger. It's gonna be a little bit tricky-dicky. Of course, they can't pen it from the front. But flanking it is what they can do. You see that Stuart down south? He can potentially flank it, you know, and maybe a King Tiger might get a little bit capuched.
You know, the thing that makes me a little bit mad, too, is these P-Grens that are kind of...
Oh, God.
Going parallel to the Stuart's position. They have the Faust!
They can't shoot at that range.
My friends.
They're just barely out of range, Khan. I think it's
They
only
could rush
10
out in the
meters.
first place. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
God.
Give your life for the fatherland. Be strong, my friends. Good God.
Okay, King Tiger's moving in. I
Yeah.
don't like Harry's moving in without too much support, especially considering his southern flank. But just look at his Stuart. And actually, the King Tiger has a pretty decent amount of side armor, so maybe it could bounce.
Well, he's putting rounds into that half track, so big
Oh.
stink. Oh!
There we go. I
that's gonna be it
think
for us today,
Khan's
folks.
destroyed now.
Oh,
That's the end of the replay.
oh God. 61-39, 745 to 105. And that's where I'm basically going to start, cutting it out right here. Good God.
Okay, I'll
So,
pull you a risky after the match.
I'm going to say, what went wrong right now? Because I feel like the 21st Panzer never really got their footing on this map.
Oh God, it's just they should have been a bit more aggressive in the town, even though they don't have that advantage. You still need to just try and contest for the best, and if not, try to attack from the flanks really heavily. And Adaco didn't really do that. He just kind of captured the northern road a bit and defended. And same down south. He didn't even really try to do a big push here either. It just needed to have been a bit more aggressive. Yeah, I understand not wanting to push southern side during A phase, as you don't really have any great long-range units, and well, you got the pack gun, but Sherman's still a rather scary beast.
Well, I kind of feel like, at least from my end, that at least in the Phase A, he didn't really go and use his mobility to his advantage.
21st Panzer?
Indeed. I mean, he had what, 4 222s coming out, which still represents a fairly good, significant investment
That's
of material.
40%.
And here comes the second Königstiga, so it's going to be just as depressing.
How much points have it been? He must be floating so many points just to get another King Tiger within 1.5, 2 minutes.
Okay, but look at it this way. It's like whose line is it anyway? Everything's made up, and the points definitely do not matter.
Yeah. Well,
dear God.
Stuart's still in position, and it seems like it's going in roughly the same area. He's not going to be rushing as far, so that's going to be good. And
who cares at this point? The P Grange just, what do? They shot at a freaking Jeep, and now there's a jumbo right there. There's infantry all over the place. Those guys are going to surrender pretty quick.
Yeah. So the King Tiger, it's a good brick rule. That's how you use King Tigers. You just kind of place it in an open field, and without it being flanked, of course, and it would do a good job. Nothing will really get past it. And in that position where it is right now, that's going to be a pretty nice brick rule, and it's going to stop those Shermans from really moving in too close. But just that southern flank is really scary. He needs to get some recon, something to try and deter any more movement on that far south.
That's true. He sees a fair bit of it, but that's just basically because he's got nothing else in the area. So it's like, oh look, there's nothing but wide open fields there.
Yep.
And Rocket's away from this P-38, trying to stress him out a bit, and not going to happen. He takes out, well, breaks the tracks on one of the half tracks at least. I don't know why he's not shooting at something like the Jumbo instead, but maybe I'm just being picky.
He barely has. He can't see the Jumbo at the moment.
Not anymore. He definitely could have seen it a few seconds ago, though.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just bitter. Don't mind me. If I see, everybody, if I get a little bit nasty, from some very. Oh, jeez. It breaks my heart.
Fun toys were destroyed. I know I was really silly positioning, especially with a King Tiger. You can't just think it's like the be-all end-all super tank, because as you can see, it will just get killed. Like, yeah, you have to be very cautious. You always want 5 support units, anti-air, just everything supporting it, because it's not a one-man army, surprisingly enough. It's
not in this game.
No,
Company of Heroes 2 is a completely different story.
Oh, yeah,
but, we're not going to worry about that.
Oh, yeah, I remember in Company of Heroes 2, I once had a King Tiger. I had 3 T-34s rush me, and just by reversing backwards, I managed to kill 3 T-34s. But once again, that's Company of Heroes 2. And in this game, you've got morale mechanic to worry about. And that morale mechanic can mess up those Koenig's Tigers.
Worth noting, by the way, that the Bears are now extinct. The second one went down to the north just now. I don't know if there's the M4A3 or the Jumbo, but either way, I'm pretty pissed.
You see that Stuart again, Khan?
He's making another run.
I don't want you to get too worried, okay?
Oh, dear Christ.
I think the King Tiger may be able to get revenge, too.
I'm trying to figure out. So the Pack 307 in the north... okay, take him out, my friend. There we go. Suck it, Stuart.
This match has just got much more personal for Khan.
Oh, it's totally personal, man. Alright, so 307 up in the north. They're throwing a couple rounds down range. And actually, the Jumbo's almost out of ammunition for his armor piercing.
Yeah.
Problem is that his HE can actually take out the 307 without any problem.
Yeah, that pack gun can't exactly do too much.
Crew knocked out, 9 seconds.
It can stun him a bit, but that's exactly about it.
Well, if he gets a nice little flank shot, bounce, never mind.
Yeah.
And a third Königstiger coming out to the north, so Yanaki coming back out in full force.
That's,
It's the Yanaki brothers.
that's a lot of. Oh god, they're both called. What's the chances of that? What is every unit called yet? No, that's
No,
not.
no, 'cause the first one was Ox.
What other?
Ox.
That's a pretty low chance, I think, of them both being called Janaki. That is.
Yeah,
That's
sorry,
just weird.
Janaki.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know, or Yaneki. I'm not sure. Whatever.
Yaneki,
Point being,
it's all German to me.
did see a off-map barrage coming on in, taking out a P-Grunt squad in the middle part of the map. Königstiger, in the meantime, is standing strong and throwing rounds down range, but he's not going to do anything else. And thankfully, he doesn't want to prowl forwards and come into range at the 76mm. Problem with that is that it's still 62-38, and the Allies are getting tickets like it's going out of style.
With the King Tigers, Adaco can slowly move up and attack along the flanks, but I don't think he could do it in 11 minutes. He's just going to be much more aggressive to really make anything happen, and with this whole southern flank just completely folded array, I don't think anything too crazy is going to really happen for Mr. Adaco.
307 went down, by the way, and looks the Mustang's probably going to pick up at least one kill. This ME-109 is smoking already.
But also
No,
the Americans,
never mind.
You know, it's a C-phase, American 3rd Armoured. They're rolling in dough, rolling in points, rolling in armoured vehicles. And everything. Just look at the jumbos there. We've got a 76 Sherman down below too now. This is bringing in all the tanks, and they got the numbers, man. They got the numbers.
Yes, they do, and that's why you let the
up.
sleeping giant lie.
The King
Dear
Tiger up
God.
top could definitely break up that jumbo, because once again they can barely pen the King Tiger.
Lightning making another gun run to the south, rockets away. He's going to go and stress him out a little bit, but that Königstiger, well, he's going to come on forwards and probably just pick on a couple of these recon squads just because he can. No, he's bailed. Yes, the M4A3 is bailing out. Fantastic. I'm an American and I endorse this confrontation. Oh my gosh. All right, there we go.
There we go.
Falling back. So actually, you know, and I might be wrong, but have you ever seen it not be bailed out if bailing out actually made you get the tank again? Because I've never seen a tank that's bailed out make it away.
No, you can't. Pretty much bailed out means a tank's dead, but it's still on the field. It really should just be blown up at that point, to be entirely honest. But it's also rather annoying because, like, if your tracks get destroyed, you can't fix the tracks, which is...
Actually, that's a misnomer. And the tank in the north, it does take out the jumbo, so the jumbo does get popped by the Königstiger. But no, it's a misnomer. And and the one in the south went down as well. So now it's a couple, no, an M4A3 in the north and a jumbo in the south. No, supposedly, and I haven't tested this, support trucks can actually repair damaged vehicles in the field.
Does it take a long time?
I wish I could tell you.
It takes a long time, because... I know, it's a good question, because most of the time when my tanks get tracked, they're already kind of buggered to begin with. So
Exactly.
I just kind of throw it away, you know. It's like one thing's broken, might as well throw away the entire set.
Yeah.
You know, I'm missing one button on my coat, I gotta buy a new coat.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And when you're in the Americans and playing the 3rd Armored, you can do that. Crew knocked out in the north. Oh, geez, this is probably gonna be a dead tank.
Yeah. Oh god, that's... don't look, Callan. Close your eyes. I don't think it's gonna really die, though. That Sherman.
Oh no, never mind. Crew knocked out. They got another crew right back in there. It was like, okay, send in the rookies.
Yo,
Bouncing rounds, and now this better be a dead M4A3.
Why can't you shoot?
There we go.
There we go. Finally. Jeez, that was... He sort of killed that much sooner, to be honest. But now he's making a breakthrough up top. There's nothing really here to stop him. He just needs stuff in front of the King Tiger before you move up. That's one misnomer with King Tigers. You want to always have stuff in front of it, even though it's the most heavily armored unit in the game.
And that's the thing also I want to bring up too, is that I feel a little bit kind of bitter about this, but the Zook should not be able to destroy or damage the King Tiger.
Right,
I'm sorry.
Right. In the front or at the sides?
Definitely not the front, but you've definitely seen damage coming on out from people who,
From the front, I guess, is rather debatable if we talk about heat mechanics. I'm not an expert in that, so I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
Side, definitely, but it's also, you know, exactly where they hit it. I know, it's weird. Like, the King Tiger P has 19 armor, while Henschel one has 21, because of the different turret, because the frontal armor value, and the armor values in this game also consider the turret. And the Porter run wasn't exactly as well made.
Whoa, furball on the southern side of the map. ME-109 does
Oh.
go down. Focke Wolf is in the area, and I gotta rotate this map so I can actually watch this
Yeah,
engagement.
same.
Wow, they are way off the map, aren't they? They've gone
Yeah.
way off the reservation. P-38 Lightning's gonna go down in a second. We did see the 51 Mustang die. But if the war
down,
in the
both
air
killed.
were an indication, then the Germans would be winning. But as we come into the last few seconds of this, it's going to be 18, almost 1900 probably, to 105. It's definitely going to be an American victory.
Yeah, it's definitely American victory at this point. Just that whole southern flank under control. I mean, that King Tiger in the south, even though it's it can kill everything, it's not in any real position to do it without it being a risky attack.
Well, and again, so a couple of things to take away. So Adaco does surrender, or Adaco, or what have you. Taking a quick look at the actual final score, 1921 to 105.
Kills
Shockingly
is-
enough, the KD is fairly regular.
That's very, very, very regular. I'm guessing Astonished Man lost some units earlier or later on in the match. Let's take a look in the history. Oh yeah, he lost to his Shermans and Jumbos, which definitely added up by the King Tiger, but at that point it was already in Astonished Man's favour.
Actually, do something for me. Look at the kills real quick for Astonished, and tell me, removing 2 units, how crazy different this game would have been.
Do you mean the King Tigers?
I was going to say that actually, get rid of the command steward, who killed like
2-2s.
900 points by himself, and the Jumbo that took out another P4 and the Broom Bar that went up north. This is a totally different game. Insane.
Exactly. I mean that's Stuart MVP of the match, killing the King Tiger. Yeah,
That's true.
For me anyway. That was a really damn good flank and a good example of, even though you may have the biggest cat on the field, you don't want to just be rushing it in. But once again, I just think Adaco just being a bit more offensive, take the initiative, because 21st Panzer Division is a pretty damn good A-phase deck. It got a lot of nice units, those pack guns, Panzer 4Cs, some nice French tanks, PZ Grens, etc., etc. Artillery, they can get the, the Katusha knockoff. That's a great unit to pick. And I'm thinking, if Adaco was to take some of those units, it would have helped him out quite a bit, especially that Katusha rocket thing. No,
Yeah, I can't think what's
about
called.
it.
Flakbeard? No, not the Flakbearding. Oh my gosh, I can't think of it. But I know exactly what you're talking
You know
about.
your German better than me, but yeah, I think it's extremely useful. And I
Wir
just think,
Flaks. Oh my gosh, Wir Flakswerfer. There we go.
yeah. It's just could have been much better. I think Adaco took some better unit choices in the A phase, and if he was to do that 2-2-2 rush again, he needed to be more aggressive. Because 2-2-2s are better on the road, going fast with the wind in their hair, not sitting around, lobbing shots
Collecting
between.
dust.
Yeah, exactly.
Ugh.
That's,
But oh well.
That's really all I have to say about the match.
Yes, I'm sure Rom will be disappointed himself. Thank God he was dead by this point. Oh man.
Just
In any case,
a Spitfire, straight to car, see what happens.
True.
Yep.
But I was going to say, so congratulations to Astonished Man.
Yep.
Unlucky to Adaco. And Rangru, that's going to do it for me over here. I'm Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rangru.
We'll see you guys all next time. Take it easy.
Take it easy.